think it's working. Let's see. Okay, you're showing us live. How do I? Yeah, I know, but oh, you hear that?
Yeah. Are we live?
Hold on, that was me. Let me lower this sound. So, okay. But how do I?
Supposed to have all this down before we go live.
Well, I'm following the chat here. We just need.
Are we live?
We are, but I'm the only one here.
Okay. That doesn't make it very interesting.
Not quite.
Let's get around this big truck and head out to Nogales.
Oh, all the prices here.
Like with cars. Is that Jay?
Yes, and it says hello, Mrs. Speck. Hi from the cars. Unfinished project is also here.
Unfinished project. Welcome. You can see what Mexico's like. We're just leaving Hermosillo right now. We had lunch, filled up the car, and we're heading off to Nogales. It's a 3-hour drive. It's a 3-hour tour. But like I said before, we're out in the desert. There's not much to see except for maybe some Mexican spec cars that go whizzing past me. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear us okay? We're trying your microphone, so I want to see if you're working okay. One second, I'm sharing the chat. I'm sharing the live so people know.
Well, in the meantime, people are in the chat. GMC Sierra.
1 second, please. There you go. Okay, I'm back. Well, because this audio is scratchy, all the microphones are weird. And they expect the video sideways. I know the video is sideways. How do I fix it?
Sideways.
Yeah, how do I fix it?
Horizontal? I don't want it vertical. I don't care what YouTube says. I don't like vertical.
Yeah, but they're not gonna like that. It's gonna make them sick.
I mean, it's bouncing.
No, it's sideways. It's like that. For them, it looks like this.
Oh. Turn the phone.
The vertical live stream with camera turns it up. How do I fix that though? I don't know how to fix it.
We're gonna need money. This is like,
Okay. I have money.
This is a total. We're gonna set down.
I have money for that.
Yeah, that's a lot of bouncing.
Oh, that's for that. How do I?
Okay, this one's cash. And for an automobile, it's 109.
Video sprayed audio muffled. How much is it?
109.
Why is it always
Buenas
109? I have 500. Here. What do I? Oh, Jesus.
Gracias. So then the microphones are not working.
I guess not. Let me. You wanna try and take them off?
What?
You want to try and take them out, but
Well, then we're only using the microphone on the camera, right? On the phone. They're going to lose interest and go away. So, things.
yes.
I have a microphone on my collar.
Because it was clear when you stopped. So maybe it's like,
Maybe it's all the road noise from the car.
it might be the road noise.
But the microphone's right next to me. It might be picking up. It might be only the microphone from the phone working. And it's picking up all the road noise plus the air conditioner in the car and everything. That may be what it is. I don't think the microphones are working.
Quizás Alba.
Huh?
Alba. I don't know. There's a saver here. And you don't take the picture horizontal. If someone tells me I don't take the picture horizontal, I will. But tell me. Try to come out from the microphone. Like,
Don't you go into the thing and not allow it? Or allow it?
you mean like that?
Yeah.
It's it is that. Not that it helps. No, it's a setting with the live, but I don't know how to change that.
Turn it like that.
It will be moving around, sure, right?
No, this.
No, because of this. The way sure. Hold on. Hold on.
You gotta pass this truck. That make it any better?
I want to go.
Is that better?
Tavo is here from Australia.
Hey, Taro.
Can you put microphone? Okay, hold on. Give me a minute.
Does Mexico look anything like Australia?
Maria's here.
Maria.
Give me 1 second to unplug the microphone, please. 1 second. I hope this is going this.
And we don't need these.
But it will be too far away.
Well, see if they can hear us with that.
Okay, how about now with the sound? Can you tell us how it sounds? Better sound. Okay, awesome.
And then the microphones were causing problems. That's weird. They're supposed to do the opposite.
Perfect. Somebody is here, so what's on that to be?
Huh?
What's on that to be?
Oh, hello. Welcome to our road trip in Mexico. We're 3 hours from the border to deliver this Fairmont for Lester LeSabre. Oh,
Tavo says sound is clear, a little quiet, but we can turn up the volume.
oh, great. 'Cause that's about as loud as we can talk.
We invested in microphones and everything, but it didn't work. Sorry, guys.
Is the image steady?
It's kind of empty.
I hope so, because I can see it bouncing just a little bit.
Image is great, it says.
That's it. And we got both of them locked in.
Once. Sorry.
We're cruising along at 110 kilometers per hour. The car is just as solid as can be. Such a pleasure to drive this car. The air's blowing cold, and this morning the heat was blowing hot. Well, the heat was blowing warm.
One with car says I had the same problems with the microphone. And Curtis Randolph is here.
Hi, Curtis. Welcome. welcome.
Says found another gem, I see. Sweet ride.
Yes, and it belongs to Lester LeSabre, and he is in the chat with you. He's gonna enjoy this car. Wow, I'm so jealous. I know I'll never find one this nice again. If we can never get the video done, you're gonna see the road trip it took to get this. We were out on the road for a week looking at different cars, and we were wiped out by the time we got back. But we brought this one back.
Well, because the sound and visual is great right now.
Thank you very much, Jay. Now we know how to do it. Stop investing in technology and just trust the phone.
Well, at least we got the arm for the phone, so I don't have to hold it.
Yes. But the Mexican sun is probably going to burn my phone up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it is really hot out here.
It is really hot out here. We're into the 90s at least.
Okay. Why is it sideways now? Why is it sideways now? I don't understand. Hold on. How do I make it not sideways now? I don't understand. What did I do?
Move the switchy thing.
What switchy? I don't understand. What did I do? Help.
We're all eating lunch.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Well, I guess. Orientation is locked. Good. Okay. I got it. Perfect. We're sorry. The phone literally hit up as we were saying it could hit up.
They're not there.
Yeah, phone records is here.
Oh, he's back?
Yeah.
Oh.
Perfect. Yeah, they're here.
Just as I was saying, the sun's gonna burn up my phone. The sun burnt up my phone.
Okay, let me see.
Let's get a few people back in here, and then I'll tell a little story about how we started this morning.
Hold on.
You've got this right here.
It's fine. It's only on the side. Lester says, don't give up, you found this. I appreciate all your hard work. This is the old messages that we were watching that we didn't saw. It says, Mrs. Beck had to deal with you for a week. She needs a bonus. I don't need a bonus. Definitely need a bonus.
You got your bonus.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, you didn't.
You bought a lot of stuff on that trip.
I did not. I was really nice and I didn't buy any stuff. I bought a blankie and that's all I bought. The phone records, those rolling hills are gorgeous. Reminds me of Nevada.
Is he back or that the old ones?
The old messages. Okay. Curtis Randall says, nice dash, even. What year? Lincoln? Curtis?
Is he back in here?
Yes.
Oh. Curtis, this is a 1981 Ford Fairmont Elite. This was the top of the line Fairmont in Mexico at that time. It has power everything, windows, locks, seats, steering, brakes, air conditioning. And I've never seen a power seat in a Fairmont before in Mexico. It's very rare. But there is no tilt wheel and no cruise control because we're not options offered in Mexico. That does not look like a guy.
Lester LeSabre says, keep the phone back with you. Yes, I will. I will keep it off of the sun so it doesn't heat up. I guess the arm and the microphones were a bust.
Yeah. Well, you could have kept this in the arm and just hold on to the arm. It's probably easier on your hand.
No, because it will be too
late though.
We'll try it. We'll try it another time.
It's easier to hold on like that than like this.
We'll try it another time.
Yeah.
Phone card says, I never left Mex. What? This is the 1981 for Fairmont. Tabo just said now, is that a Mexican highway? 10 times better than Australian country highways.
Well, that's not saying much. I will say that this state, Sonora, has been working on their highways ever since I moved to Mexico 26 years ago. So I would expect a little bit of, a few nice areas. But even the areas that aren't nice, this car just takes it so well. I don't have to dodge too much like I did in the carryall that I brought north last time.
Granddad's junk is here, and they say, "Good day, Meg's brother and Mrs. Meg." Mrs. Meg's? Okay, Mrs. Meg's.
Hola, senor. How are you doing way down there?
It's Granddad's junk.
He's in Australia too.
Okay.
Sorry, he may be in New Zealand. I'm not going to insult anybody.
Okay.
Anyway, we left the house this morning at 4 o'clock, got on the road, and made our way. About 3 hours after that, we pulled into Walmart in Ciudad Obregón. We had food cooking on the intake manifold.
Well, heating up.
Well, yeah, heating up. It was already cooked. It was just heating up. That worked out well. It was eggs and chicken, and then Mrs. Speck had breaded like chicken fingers. And a stray dog came over and we fed her too. She looked really skinny and looked like she recently had puppies, so we shared our food with her. But there's not a lot of room on this intake manifold. I really thought there would be more, but we got him in there.
No, Jay, we're not in Canada.
Canada?
Fun with Cars says they're driving in the 52nd state.
51st state would be Canada.
Okay, then.
Mexico would be 52nd. No, they're fiercely patriotic here. That would not go over.
Granddad's Junk says, "Good day, Fun with Cars and Tavo. How's the mighty BJ Val?" I don't know what that is, I'm sorry.
That's for them.
I don't know.
They're talking amongst themselves. So we had our breakfast and then took off. It was another 3 hours or so to get to Hermosillo. And then we had lunch and walked around the mall a little bit. Bought some emergency chocolate for the trip, which as soon as I got into the car, it started melting, so I had to eat it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get chocolate all over this car that I spent hours cleaning. Oh, look, I'm speeding, going 120.
Stop it.
The car wants to do it. I want to keep it around 100. But Lester, Farley, I got 16 miles per hour, 15 miles per hour, 17 miles per hour, miles per gallon, and then 15 miles per gallon on the last one. I've been filling up like every 150 kilometers. It's been taking like 500 pesos. It's been taking like 500 pesos each time I filled up, which is not a lot.
Curtis says, "Nice. I used to keep a mason jar of beef brats under the hood when I drove a truck. I miss cooking under the hood." What's beef brats?
Probably the bratwurst. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Ask him.
Oh, yeah. I'm asking the public in general. Jay says cell service is good right now.
Yeah, that's weird because we're in the middle of nowhere. You can see this is desert. It's not like coming through Sinaloa where, there's stuff growing over there. I don't know what that is, but stuff is growing over there. Grapes, maybe? I don't know.
No.
No?
No.
It's on vines and stuff.
Yeah, but grapes are not the only thing that grow on vines.
I don't know, but it's much more agricultural in Sinaloa than it is in Sonora. Most of this state is desert, and we go through little tiny towns, but there's really not much out here.
on the MPG? About them?
I hope so, because the first one, I filled up the car from the mechanic, and it took 51 liters. And I drove it around a little bit, drove home, drove it back to the air shop, drove back home, which is within walking distance of my house. Then I filled it up we left this morning, filled it up. It got 8 miles per gallon driving around town. And it's not like I was racing or doing burnouts or anything. So I don't know why it's getting such bad mileage around town.
That one has to go. Here's to say sorry about the short stopping. I have to head off to work now, 7:30 a.m. here. Have fun on the drive folks.
Thank you for coming in, Tavo. We will see you soon.
Jay says, it's beautiful there. Looks like Area 51. Lester says, you need a 460 to heat a full meal? Maybe.
Yeah, the 460 does have a big intake manifold. A lot of real estate there. This one is really tight, and I did not want to put any food underneath the carburetor linkage or near any wires that were gonna, because it was in aluminum foil, so the wire could jump spark or jump the current through the aluminum foil and through the food. So I had to be real careful where I put it. Didn't leave me many options. Stop hitting the windshield.
What?
The bugs.
Jay says, what are liters? I don't speak.
Are 3.89
oh, jeez.
of a gallon.
Your phone's vibrating. Is it an alarm or is it a call? Let me hang this
Tell
up.
them to get. Oh, never mind.
Not live. That's fine. Okay. It's fine. False alarm.
Let's see how we whip around this truck. There we go. Hey Lester, the car does not vibrate up the steering wheel at 130 anymore. Huh?
Nothing. Granddad's Jack says, looks like a really nice day. How far are you guys going?
We're it's 270 kilometers more to the border. That's where we're going to meet Jason, and he's going to cross the car.
What's Jason's name here?
Fix It something. Fix It Garage. He's at the dentist, so I don't think he's going to be in here.
Probably.
Getting a cleaning. I don't know what time his appointment was, though. Can you guys hear all the road noise from the car? The air noise and stuff? Is that bothering you?
Jay says, looks like you're driving on the Autobahn. Lester says, new tires and balance pays off.
It sure does. No, this is not an Autobahn, although there's not really enforcement out here, so you can really do anything you want to. I don't think you would want to drive really fast on this highway, though. This car just wants to keep going. I don't want to keep driving 120. Bring it down to 100.
Hold on. Granda's Junk says, cool, how are you getting home?
The big bus.
Yep.
After we deliver the car we deliver the car like at 12 noon, and then about 4:30 in the afternoon, the really nice 2-story luxury bus takes us home, and we get home at like 2 a.m. It's not a bad trip. At least we get to sleep on the way back, if we can sleep on the bus.
Curtis Randall says, the fact that it's working at all, it's amazing actually. I'm not sure what he's referring to, sorry.
The internet.
Maybe.
Probably the internet out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
We're live in the middle of the desert. But I do have to tell you guys, it doesn't matter where I am in Mexico, the internet service is excellent.
Well,
I have never dropped a call in Mexico. In Las Vegas, I would drive one block to the next and I'd have to call the person back. It was terrible. And they were charging a ton of money. I mean, we just changed our plan to get 5 gigs, whatever that means. By the way, can you tell this lane is worse? This is the lane that the trucks travel in, and they leave grooves and potholes and everything. So I try to stay in the left, but there's a vehicle of some kind that looks like a Nissan coming up behind me. So I got out of his way. So what was I saying?
Well, what you think about it, Jay says a little road noise, but sound is good, and Lester says can hear air, but tolerable.
Okay, good.
And Granddad's Junk says this is better than a date. What a big bus. That you never drop a call.
Oh, that's right. In Las Vegas, the internet was terrible, and we just changed our plan. She has a phone and I have a phone, and our plan is now 239 pesos a month.
Yeah.
Right. So that would be $12 a month for 5 gigs, whatever that means.
No, I think it was 3.
3?
Yeah, I think it was 3.
Oh, okay, 3.
3 gigs.
Because on our last plan, it was $199 a month.
For one.
For one, but we never went over 2 gigs. Even the trip we took out to get this car, we were out on the road for a week. We never got up to 3. So there's no way that we needed more than that. So it's like $14 a month. And we could call anywhere we want, as much as we want, and be out here in the middle of the desert on a live without paying any extra.
Curtis wants to know who's our cell provider.
Telcel?
Lester says, can't tell the difference in lane.
In what?
In the lane, the one lane to the other.
No?
Can't tell.
Oh, can tell. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I won't prove it again.
No! So, Jay says, Mrs. Speck, is English your second language? Yes, it is. Driveway of Misfits is here.
Hey, Chris. Glad you could make it. Did you stay home from work today? Just for this?
Granddad's Junk says we can cross the whole South Islands here in New Zealand in less kilometers. In less kilometers that we're going to break into the border, I guess.
Yeah. So then all of your cars have very low mileage on them, low kilometers. Kilometraje. Very low. Just like being on the island of Hawaii. I went there with my parents in 1982, and we rented a Mercury Capri. That was fun.
My boss is here.
Oh. Hi, Mrs. Speck's boss.
Hi, Alex.
So we went to Hawaii in 1982, rented a Mercury Capri, and the thing stayed in the garage most of the time until we went out to Waianima Bay, and that was about the only time we used it. So cars don't get a lot of runaround time there. Even if you drive around the island, you don't go very far. Will you get out of my way?
Well,
are we drag racing trucks here?
Maybe. Driver of Misfit says, if I said that I did stay home just for this, do we get to see what you look like?
No, you have to buy a car for me and come to Mexico to see what I look like. Them's the rules.
Yes, them's the rules.
That looks like a brand new X-Trail in front of me. I don't know if they sell that over there. Sometimes they put that name on a different vehicle here. Like I think when we had a Nissan Rogue and you guys called it an X-Trail over there. Or vice versa, I'm not sure which. Like there's a Volkswagen SUV. It's called Atlas in the US. And here it's called Terramont. Terramont, not Mount. Terramont. I'm pretty sure somebody in Spanish can say Atlas. So I'm not sure why they changed the name and made new trim parts and everything else.
Thank you, Jay. I did try. I've been speaking English for a bit now. It's always difficult. Jay says says that my English is 100% and my pronunciation is awesome.
Good. Does your boss agree?
Maybe. Well, no, I'm not gonna say it. Steven Andrews is here.
Hi, Steven. Welcome. We're having a party in the middle of the desert in Mexico. Bring your own water. The car's doing wonderful though. Not overheating, no problems. You tap the key, the car starts right up. What?
That is true. Lester says, I bought a car and I want to know what he looks like.
That's true.
That is true. Actually, Gray, I was talking to Michael, and I did say that it was really sad that I didn't get to meet you. It was really sad.
Actually, Gray, I sent you a couple videos, and there's probably my reflection in the windows.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there is. That I will not show to anybody else.
Curtis says, what vehicle sells for more in Mexico than the US?
Volkswagen is really popular here. It's really hard to say because they don't make car magazines anymore. They used to, obviously, when, in the 90s, the Volkswagen rear engine Beetle was selling more than anything because it was the cheapest car in the country. Then when they stopped, I'll take a break. When they stopped making that, the Nissan Suru took over, which was the 1991 to 1993 Nissan Sentra in the US. They kept that running here until 2017. They finally got rid of that. But that was the car that everybody bought for work purposes. And who has it now? Nissan has the Versa. They have a Nissan March and a few other little models that people go crazy over because they're small and cheap. Every car company in Mexico makes a small, cheap stick shift car. And when we went to Mexico City to buy a Fairmont for Lester, it dawned on me why, because there are so many people, there are so many cars and so little area that to get them all on the freeways to get to work and everything, they have to be little cars and they're bumper to bumper. And you don't leave 3 car lengths, when you're driving. You're right up on the bumper because somebody needs to get in behind you. But if they got rid of all the little cars like the US did, nobody would get anywhere in Mexico City. They have to have those cars here. It's too bad that you guys over there can't buy a $20,000 small stick shift car that'll run forever.
Granddad's Junk says, you guys' English is very good, very clear, better than most Kiwis.
I will agree with that.
Jay says, I have a Mexican spec avatar saved on my computer. Lester says, I'm sorry I won't meet you, Mrs. Beck. Oh, I'm really sorry too.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Granddad's Junk says, that's funny, Chris. I didn't even know it was called that when I named the channel. I lived in a vacuum. Rabio Messi says, it's stupid that we can't get cheap Econo boxes anymore.
Yeah. Whenever I get in, we were gone for a week, Mrs. Beck and I. We took a lot of Ubers all around Mexico, well, Estado de Mexico and Mexico City, Distrito Federal. I would converse with these drivers. I want to know how the car's doing. Have they had any mechanical problems? I also do that in my town. And I was in an Uber. I took an Uber to go pick this car up. And the guy, it was a Nissan Tida, I think, which over there in the US it was a Versa. It's the really weird looking one. And he said he had it was a Dodge Attitude, which is a Mitsubishi Mirage. He had 419,000 kilometers on it, and the only thing he had ever done to it is put a clutch in every 200,000 kilometers. He had no mechanical problems. He had nothing. No breakdowns at all in 400,000 kilometers. Those little cars are amazing. And I get those answers all the time. Nope. I drive it all the time, 200,000, 300,000 kilometers. No mechanical issues. It has not been sitting at the dealer or anything.
Olive Drab is here. Olive Drab.
Yeah, her name is Olive. Hi, Olive. Glad you can make it. I hope you enjoy beautiful Mexico.
Jay says, fun fact, before she was Mrs. Specs, she was Miss Mexico.
Not close.
I was Miss Living Room, okay. Private joke. Anyway.
Yep.
We keep going. What do we got here? A
Here's
Fairmont?
construction. Well, there's orange cones. What are they actually doing?
Ollie wants to know if it's a Fairmont.
Yes, this is a 1981 Fairmont Elite Olive. This was the top of the line car for the Fairmont series in Mexico. Basically, this car is a Mercury Zephyr. It has all the Zephyr parts on it, the grille, the vents on the side, the vents in the rear roof, the Zephyr tail lights. But this has a much more luxurious interior than any Fairmont or Zephyr ever sold in the U.S. That's the big plus on this car. Most of the Fairmonts sold in Mexico were V8s. Some had stick shifts, but they were mostly the single-eyed, the single headlight, and the base model without air conditioning or any of that stuff. But it was really amazing to find this car. And now it has 69,345 kilometers on it. Yeah, they're doing work up here.
Yeah.
So we are slowing down.
Driveway of Misfit says to Olive, he said it's a Ford, but it's running, so I'm not so sure.
No comment. This car runs as solid as you're gonna get. Just tap the key, Chris, and it fires right up. Interesting, Chris is talking bad about Fords when he has a Chrysler Baron sitting in his driveway. Okay, if the construction was back there, what's with the orange cones? Pick them up. Get them out of here.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can tell they recently did this part of the highway, and it's really smooth. It won't be for long, but it is now. You add the Mexican heat, the Mexican sun, the asphalt, and like 80,000-pound trucks that come through here, and it leaves grooves on the right lane mostly.
Yeah.
So when I see in the U.S. Police officers pulling over cars for staying in the left lane, I'm staying in the left lane until somebody comes up behind me.
Dan Ehoyd is here.
Hola Dan, ¿cómo estás?
And he's speaking Spanish.
He's trying anyway.
Steven Andrews says, oh, 1 second, did they have the Ford Fiesta down there in the 80s?
No.
Hold on. 1.6 was almost bulletproof, though it was a little tin box.
Yes.
I put 235,000 on one, then it just needed a head gasket.
No, they didn't have that car down here. That car was imported from somewhere into the U.S. There were no imported cars here in the 80s. All the cars had to be made in the country, in Mexico, with Mexican parts. It was odd that this is an automatic, and they imported the transmission from the U.S. to put in this car because there were no automatics made in Mexico for the Fords. But I have never driven such a strong transmission. You take off and it gives you the first second shift and it's solid. And if you're going a little bit and you downshift into first, you go back into second, it's going to chirp those tires. It is strong. This transmission is really strong.
Jay has a little black panther kitten watching with him right now.
Panda?
Panther.
Oh, panther kitten.
Panther kitten. Dan says, my españole no es muy bueno.
He knows a few words. The sun's creeping up on me.
Yeah.
I have black jeans on right now, and the sun is coming through the left window. on both of my legs. So that's fun.
Driveway wants to know if he has if the Fairmont has a straight 6 or a 302.
It has a Mexican 302. And they didn't put straight 6s in the cars here, Chris. From 78 to 82, you had the Mexican 302, and in 83 you had the option of the 3.8 V6. And if you got the 3.8 V6 with a stick shift, it went from a 3-speed to a 4-speed. So there were no straight 6s in Mexico, except in the trucks.
Curtis says, my 1995 Oldsmobile Sierra had 260,000 on it before the trans went out. My current 96 Sierra only has 120 and it still feels almost new. I'm always on the lookout for another one with lower miles.
Hey Curtis, you're gonna be my next client. I'll get you a 94, 95, or 96 Sierra Eurosport with a 5-speed manual transmission.
There's a car on the side.
2-door or 4-door, they came in both. It's a really nice car. Really nice plush car with the 5-speed.
Jay says the only thing that he knows is uno cerveza por favor.
That's a good thing to know if you drink beer.
Yep. He says his daughter, who is graduating from high school, is getting her bilingual certificate in Spanish.
That's nice. It's good to know Spanish with so many people around speaking it. If for nothing else, when they're talking about you, you know what they're saying.
Yep.
Definitely. By the way, Lester, everywhere we stopped with this, people talked to me about it, gave me compliments on it. What a beautiful car, so original. They don't know it's been repainted, but that's fine. The second military revision we went through, the first one, there was a huge line of semi-trucks. In the left lane, so I went in the right lane, and they were busy with the semi-trucks, so I just drove straight through. Nobody said anything, so that's fine. In the next one, there was a younger guy, and he asked me where I was going, where I was coming from, what do I do for a living. Of course, I never tell them that I sell cars. You never want to tell these guys that you sell cars. So he asked me, is this a Marquis? And I told him, no, it's a Fairmont, nice original, very low mile car, always kept in a garage. He says, very nice, and he says, go ahead.
Dan says, just looked up Fairmont 3 speeds, and the one I saw is floor shifted.
Yeah, they're all floor shifted in Mexico. I don't think they ever made us a column shift Fairmont anywhere. But we were not the oldest vehicle on the highway this time. When we were coming into Hermosillo, there was a... Okay. So we were not the only old vehicle out here. A mid-60s Chevy step-side truck was also out here just a little while. Now you're going to see this SUV passing me on the left-hand side. It is absolutely crazy to be driving this pickup. Absolutely crazy. That truck is probably 2 million pesos, 2,200,000 pesos in Mexico. Unless they're part of the cartel, which nobody bothers them, that truck is yelling, kidnap me, I have money for you.
Lester says, nice that people like it.
It's the condition.
Yeah.
People haven't seen one of these in a long time, especially out on the highway. But I always give people a thrill out here, and I use the turn signals and everything else so they can see the lights flashing, the big giant tail lights flashing. I expected more traffic out here, being a Monday. My ears are popping.
Are they?
Yeah, I can hear better now.
That's weird.
Back up to 120. I gotta keep an eye on the gas gauge. the phone getting?
Okay, on battery?
Yeah.
59.
Okay. Missed it by 10. I've been driving this whole time at like 115 kilometers per hour.
Curtis says 5-speed will be cool, rare here, but I like my cruise control, bench seat and column shift too much. I have a long commute.
These are bucket seats with a stick shift. I don't think they have cruise control, but they're a very cool car. People would ask you, what is it? Because when they stopped selling the Celebrity here in 1989, they switched the, actually in 1987, sport package on the Sierra, the 2 doors and 4 doors. The Celebrity ran through 89. It was also a stick shift, but a 4-speed. With a 2.8, the Sierras were a 3.1.
Driveway and Jane are talking in German, so I'm not gonna translate that because I don't know.
I don't want to know what they're talking about.
Lester says, I love the big taillights, and Dan says 120K is moving along pretty good.
Yeah, over 70, and the car's doing wonderful. It's such a pleasure to drive this car. It's unbelievable.
Granddad's Junk wants to know what's the speed limit here.
It says 110 kilometers per hour right there.
I missed it.
It's 110 when we come into little towns. It goes down to 70 and then 40. But there isn't many of them. But again, there's no enforcement out here. As soon as we left our town, one National Guard Charger pulled in front of me, and then a pickup truck pulled in front of me. And when Highway Patrol would pull in front of me in the U.S., I would feel butterflies in my stomach because you know they're going to stop you and find something. I felt absolutely nothing like that because these guys have some more important things to do. Not that it would matter, everything's in order. Car's registered, insured, we have all the documents, everything, so it wouldn't be any big deal anyway. But they're out there doing other things, and they're not stopping people for 5 kilometers over the limit.
Dan says, knew a guy who had a Celebrity wagon with a 4 or 5-speed dark green.
It was probably a 4-cylinder though. I don't think they built them with V6s and stick shifts in the US. I'm not sure they could get that engine and transmission smog certified for those cars. I've never seen one over there. And I worked at a Chevy dealer for 2 years when the Celebrities were new. We never had a stick shift Celebrity, not one. Maybe that was because the new car manager never ordered one, but I don't think you could have ordered a V6 with a stick shift. The odd thing about the cars in Mexico is every car that was sold had the biggest engine that was available. Cavaliers all had V6s, Mustangs all had V8s, Fairmonts all had V8s until 83. Thunderbirds had V6s because they came out when Mexico outlawed the V8 engine in passenger cars. But it's odd that, I don't know what that was. It's odd that you could buy a truck with the smallest engine that was available, the inline 6, and then you had to buy the car with the biggest engine. I would think it would be the other way around for hauling capacity, but it wasn't.
Hold on. Dan says, might have been a California only. Oh wait, you were in Vegas then?
When I worked at the Chevy dealer, I was in beautiful downtown Burbank, California.
Dan says, how dare they outlaw V8 passenger cars?
Yeah, well, they also in 1983, they outlawed luxury items in passenger cars. So the AMC version of in Mexico stopped making a car called the Lerma because they could not import luxury items anymore. The political party that came into power wanted everybody to live poor. Austerity is what they called it. They didn't want anybody having luxury items. And they came into power and were able to pass the law, so that's what they did.
Lucas Cabello is here, and they say, do you know if the 78 Mustang 2 King Cobra was built in Mexico too, or only US?
It was only a US car. They did not have packages like that in Mexico. You could get a Cobra, probably, but all of those extra things, because they didn't sell very many cars here. I mean, everything is a low production car here because not a lot of people had the money to buy a brand new car in 1978. And this car was probably bought by the owner of a very successful business, because it was a very expensive car compared to the base model. But no, they didn't have anything like that. In the early 70s, Shelby was contracted in Mexico, and they built a few Mavericks, Shelby Mavericks, and I think it was 1969 that they took a few Mustang coupes, redid the rear, the legs on the back window to make it look like a fastback, and they called that a Shelby Mustang in Mexico. They're impossible to find now, but nobody sells them. Whoever owns them keeps them.
Dan says only the unprosperous will be or ever be for austerity.
Well, when you have to really be careful in Mexico what political party comes into power, because they will do things their way and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. For 6 years, they're on a 6-year term. So when that political party went out, then things got back to normal. But people had to live like that for 6 years, and the laws that were passed, that's the cars we have now.
It says, so do you think you can make money importing certain Volkswagens into Mexico from the US, or maybe Harley motorcycles?
No, because everybody and their mother brings cars into Mexico. Everybody. They buy cars at Copart, they buy cars on the street, and there's cars crossing the border all the time. There's a glut of cars here for sale, late model cars and stuff. People do not have the money to buy cars here like this. When you go to buy a Volkswagen Beetle, an older one, everyone will tell you it's worth $300,000. But since it needs this and this, I'll take $70,000, like that. But then they won't come down on the price because they think it's worth gold. But if you try to sell them something, it's not worth anything. That's why I'm going backwards. I'm selling cars to the US because nobody else is doing it. Even though Rabbit tried.
Jay says, fun fact, Toyota reverse engineered the Chevrolet stove called Inline 6 and used it from 1947 into the 1990s and into the 2002 in South America.
Okay, what do we got coming up here?
I don't know, darling. I think it's the revision, isn't it?
Yeah, another.
But I think it's only for buses.
Well, we'll see. We're not going in there.
No.
Isn't this the one that had the line of trucks?
No.
For miles? Or maybe that was with money, so.
I don't know, darling.
Okay,
Lucas says.
We may have to put the phone down.
Oh yeah, we may. Hold on, guys. We're going incognito.
No, not yet. We don't have to. Wait till we get up there. There's a long line.
I know. I'm just letting the guys know.
Now you guys can see what happens when we come up to one of these military things. See if they ask me anything.
Lucas says, yes, it shall be. The Mexico history is fantastic. Grandes Junk says, is that highway one way?
No,
No, the other way is over there.
Yeah, they're going that way.
It's just a little bit separated, but it's a two-way. Dan says, we have to be careful here too. Phone Ricard says, makes drives smart for two.
We will see.
Lucas says you should start to bring some to Brazil. It's cheaper tariffs than an US car.
Why would anybody in Brazil want a Mexican car? I'll send you some Brasilias. You have any over there? It's like bringing sand to a beach. You already have a lot of them. And you guys got the 4-door. I don't think we got the 4-door Brasilia here.
Oh, I didn't show the bus.
What?
The bus.
Show Granddad the bus.
I mean, yeah, I showed one, but I didn't show the Tufesa one. I wanted to show the Tufesa one.
That's close enough.
It's not.
Yeah.
No.
Lester, can you hear the power steering whine? It's not as much as it was before. Still a little bit though. Let's see, this guy in front of me is from Arizona, expires December 25.
Dan says, is there an extendable collapsible antenna on the Fairmont?
That's as far down as it goes. But yeah, there's 2 more pieces that can go up. I don't know what radio this had from the beginning. AM, FM, you gotta put the phone down. These guys are military with very large guns.
Oh, my hand. Oh.
Very large guns.
My hand's gonna rest for a minute.
I really do have to title on this thing. It's a little bit low with the air on. The solenoid doesn't work to raise the idle. Buenas tardes.
Hola, ¿dónde viene, caballero?
Los mochis. Nogales.
¿Dónde es originario?
¿Ah?
¿Originario?
Yo soy de México.
¿Dónde?
Soy de México.
¿Es de qué mexicano?
Sí. Es mi esposa.
Adelante.
Gracias.
I was looking at the... Anyway. There's a doggy over
That
there.
was a weird question.
No,
Where am
okay.
I from? I am Mexican. But he had a very big gun on him.
Yep.
So I'm not arguing with him about anything. But you know what? I feel safer when I see those guys with guns.
Like in the movie, what is your name? What do you want my name to be?
I feel safer with those when I see those guys with the guns. Show the Charger there. That's a National Guard Charger. They patrol the highway, but there's so few of them.
Oh, that Charger.
Yeah, there's so few of them that you can basically do anything you want to out here. Okay, we got through that one.
Hold on. Dan says I hear the box.
The what?
The box. When you turn it.
Yeah.
Jay says Toyota Land Cruiser in South America had a Chevy design engine from 1927. Do you have like a book of fun facts with you or something? Like, I don't understand. Granddad Young is asking what's happening here. We're just going through the crossings where they check the cars, make sure that everything is okay, but they don't like you pointing cameras at them.
No. Let me explain something, Granddad's junk. We know what that means. We have to go through 6 military revisions going from our house to the border. Now, keeping that in mind, how do people get from the southern border of Mexico unimpeded? Ask us where we come from, where we're going, who's in the car, what do you have in the car? How do those people get up there unless they have help? It doesn't make any sense to me. They're not coming on this highway though. They go up through Chihuahua up to the border where maybe that other Tamaulipas.
They use a train there.
Right.
They go now. They like jump on the train.
I know, but not all of them.
No. Driveway say.
His name is Chris. Can you remember car's name, Chris? That name's familiar.
It is, but I can't remember it. I'm sorry. It says Suns Out, Guns Out. Probably. Dan says in the US, all cars had one-piece antennas by the time the car was built.
Really?
Olive says checkpoint, I assume, to the question of what that was.
This morning, the first one we went through, they were checking all of the semi-trucks in the left lane. So I went in the right lane. I'm a little car. They didn't even see me. I went through. Nobody talked to me. The next one asked me about the car. Asked me the same questions. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? What do you do for a living? And the young man asked me, is this a Marquis? I said, no, it's a Fairmont Elite. I always have to add it's a Fairmont, very original, low-mile car. He says, have a nice day. We went. The next one, there was nobody to talk to us, so we went through there. So, yeah, no problem.
Lester says, I hear a little. Everyone expects it from Ford power steering wheel. Power steering. Dan says, cats are the best keepers of checkpoints.
Cats?
Yeah, because I pointed out of the dog. There was a dog at the checkpoint.
Oh.
Lucas says, we import a lot of 60s and 70s American cars. Probably the most desirables are Mustangs and Chargers. But I have someone that wants a Mexican spec Dart Coupe 71 to 76 because has the same roof that ours.
What's wrong with the 70 model? Why not the 70 model? Contact me. Send me an email because I've got quite a few of those on the list. They all come with 6-cylinders here, though. We don't have any V8s.
Jay says, Max was checking out his gun. Weird.
Careful, Jay. I'm married and she's sitting right next to me.
Lucas says, our Charger body-based cars had that extension in the roof.
Right. Which looked like a Charger in the U.S.
Driveway is also saying that he always suspected ...
Don't suspect anything, Chris. I'm married. Not with children, but with child.
With child.
Married with child.
Fan says, I'm adding comments to help the algorithm. Okay.
I appreciate that, Jay.
Steven says, are they military on secondary roads too?
No, but there are no secondary roads to get to the border. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing. There's nothing out here. This is it. And when they were working on this side, I'm not sure if you can see every once in a while in my lane, you'll see an arrow pointing the other way. That's because the other side was closed for years and they would put everybody on this side and then things had 2 lanes, one going up, one going back. And it's the same on the other side when they close this side. But finally, after 20-something years, both sides are actually open. I may have just cursed us.
Yeah. Actually.
Because I'm not actually sure that both sides are open. I'm not positive.
Dan says, no Cheech and Chong step bands.
We have step bands here.
Lucas says, Land Cruisers in Brazil had Mercedes-Benz or Toyota diesel engines.
Land Cruisers were not sold here.
In Brazil?
Yeah, I know. I'm saying Land Cruisers were not sold here. No 4-wheel drive vehicles were sold here.
Steven says...
Except maybe a couple of power wagons and the Willis wagon type thing, which I'm going to be posting one soon. Here's a little town.
Oh, okay.
That we have to slow down for.
Okay, so Stephen was asking, are they military on secondary roads too, or do you not want to take those? That was the second comment.
There are no secondary roads.
Okay.
It doesn't bother me to go through the military inspections. If they want to look in the trunk, they can look in the trunk. They can look anywhere they want to. It's not a big deal.
We have some coins if they want to.
Yeah.
information I have said Toyota used the engine until the 2 Type B engine.
When I got to Mexico, I took one of my cars to a mechanic, and he had an OBS truck sitting there, and it was like a 96 model, 95 model, something like that. And he had the hood open, and there was an inline 6 in there. And I asked him, why is there an inline 6 in this truck? He says, because that's the engine that came in the truck, and I'm repairing it. So they put an inline 6 in Mexico in this truck? Because in the U.S., they were from the moment they came out in March of '87, they were all V6s or V8s. There was no inline 6s in those trucks. So when they changed it, when that truck came out in 1992 in Mexico, they just used the same inline 6 that they had in the square body, threw it in the OBS, and just continued down the line. They didn't even bother with the V6 or anything. So it's weird to see an OBS with an inline 6 under the hood. It really was for me, since I worked at Chevy when the day that those came on the lot new in March of '87. And I learned all about the truck. I got under the hood, I learned everything about it. And they were all V6s, 4.6 V6s, which was a great engine. But they didn't have that engine here, so they used what they had.
Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna...
She's got to plug in the charger.
Yeah.
She's got to plug in the battery to the phone to charge it.
Okay.
Is this guy pulling somebody over? No. There's 2 National Guard vehicles on that side with lights flashing, but
Sorry.
these guys are like kids. They always have the lights flashing. Oh, here's 2 more. They always have their lights flashing. They're not pulling anybody over. They just drive with their lights flashing. So you don't know if they're pulling you over or not.
Okay. Brenda's Young says our military doesn't get involved in civilians except in civil emergency.
Well, cartel activity is civil emergency here. They used to have highway patrol, Patrulla de Caminos, but that changed. They every couple of years, or maybe when the new administration comes in every 6 years, they change things around and they get rid of the old and they put a new one in there. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, but there's no longevity on who patrols the highways out here.
Rebel Misfits wants to know what's the Spanish word for beard?
For what?
Beard.
Beard?
Quotations. Beard.
That's a good question. You can ask your friends.
Yeah, I'll ask. I don't remember actually. I don't remember. I know there's a word.
That's not something that I would know.
I know there's a word, but I can't remember right now.
Actually, it would probably be exactly the same as it was in English, barba.
No.
It would have a different meaning, but
yeah, but the other barba, no. I don't remember right now.
sorry, barba.
Barba.
Gotta roll those R's. Tony can speak some words of Yiddish, which requires rolling R's, but he won't do it when he speaks words in Spanish.
It's just not the same.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
A rolling R is a rolling R. It doesn't matter what word it's in. This sun is really getting me.
Do you want your shirt to put it on your...
No.
No? Okay.
I'm hiding my arm.
Okay.
Driving with one hand.
I think I missed a bunch of the chat. Curtis says no V8s. Do a lot of people do A-body V8 swaps in Mexico?
No. There's no car culture like that here. People drive what they have. I do have an original 74 Dart sedan with a 318 V8, but I don't think I have ever seen a coupe with a V8, and I think that's because they kept the V8 for the Super B. If they would have put the V8 in the coupe, that would have been competition for the Super B, and people wouldn't have bought the Super B. So
then he says no 4x4s were sold in Mexico. I thought they were everywhere down there. They were all imported?
Yeah, they were all imported. At the beginning of the 2000s, Mexico opened the border for any open bed truck to come in because there was a lack of trucks in the country for work. So people brought 4x4s in by the truckloads. And but no, they were not sold new here, which they should have been, because Mexico was very underdeveloped and it needed it. People on ranches, people. Oh,
no.
the guy's going off to the side with 2 trailers.
Don't scare
Let's get
me.
past him. There's your 125.
Brandas Young says, I went to Bolivia a few years ago. It was an eye-opener to see cops carrying shotguns and handguns, because they don't carry guns in or his.
Yeah. It's necessary here because the bad guys have bigger weapons than the good guys have. So, I mean, I've heard stories about the cartel in Sinaloa. The head of their cartel is like on the top of a small mountain, and if an airplane flies over, they have any anti-aircraft weapons up there to shoot that airplane down.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a tongue twister for me.
Jay says, in the U.S., police carry sidearms and long guns in their cars.
Yeah, in their cars. These guys have it on their side at all times. You'll see military trucks drive around my town, and you'll also see police trucks with they have like this bench in the back in the bed that like 6 guys can sit there facing the sides, and they each have their AK-47 with them. That won't stop the cartel from shooting at them though.
Eric's garage is here,
Hi Eric.
and he says, how many miles do you have left?
I don't know, we're in kilometers here. And I don't know that number either.
Gearhead 6971 is here.
Hello Gearhead. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the live. Welcome to Mexico. Is it hot where you are?
He says,
You can have some of our heat.
yes, please. And he wants to know where you are.
We are between Hermosillo and Nogales in Sonora. Look it up on a map. There's no more big towns between us and our destination. There are some little small ones like Santa Ana and a few others, but we're used to going through there. It's no big deal. They're usually checking people on the other side that came in from across the border and coming down. See, on these later military revisions, they know that we went through the last ones down there. When I told them I was from Los Mochis, they know that I had already been through 3 of them. So he didn't have to look too closely, because they would have looked at us down there. But little did he know, nobody talked to us down there at the other 3.
Yeah.
The same thing happened when I brought the carryall to the border. We left really early in the morning, and it was last month, so it was a bit colder. The guys were not even there, and nobody talked to us the whole time. And my son's mother that came with me said, we could have transported anything we wanted to. Nobody checked us at all.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Gearhead says, gotcha. No, 37 degrees. Talking blizzard starting tomorrow through Wednesday.
I think I know you're talking Fahrenheit, but we're in Celsius here, and we're probably above 37.
Yep.
We're well into the 90s right now. But this car is doing wonderfully. Such a pleasure to drive this car. It's unbelievable. It does absolutely everything you ask it to do. The air conditioning we fixed is cold. The heat is warm enough. It only blows out the vents though. That was the best we could do. The brakes are new. Tires are new. I cleaned and waxed the car before we left. Vacuumed the interior. The bugs that are hitting the windshield didn't appreciate my work, so they dirtied it again. Which I don't appreciate. But this car's getting a lot of compliments out here. Every time I stop at a gas station, somebody has to comment on how beautiful it is.
Over the bridge.
I think we have a toll booth because I see brake lights on in the bus. And they don't put their brake lights on for anybody. Unless it's another military thing. I don't think so.
It does say 110.
Yeah, it's a military. I see blue and red flashing lights.
Yeah, because it says 110. If it was oh, it says 60 right here.
Let's go into this lane. Let's see what these guys want.
Yeah, puesto militar right there.
I don't think they want anything. I think it's the other side.
Yeah, no, it's the one. It's the one that stepped us on the trailer.
Yeah, we're not that close to the border, are we?
We are.
I don't think so. Actually, you know what?
Hold on.
I'm gonna get gas.
Not being suspicious at all or anything.
I'm gonna get gas because.
Should I stay on the line?
Yeah.
Well, then.
I'll leave it running. Huh? What? What?
Don't step in front of the camera.
I don't.
Okay.
I do need the gas key though.
Dan came back. You got mail? What did you bring me? Dan went to get his mail.
We don't want any mail. It's always bad news.
Why do you just take the keys? Yes, thank you. Okay. Hold on. This one is heavy, guys. Ay. There's no Taco Bell here. We don't actually have, as far as I know, there's no Taco Bell in Mexico. There's no Taco Bell here, right? He left again. Hold on.
No, there's no Taco Bell here.
No.
Why would there be?
I don't know. Shits and giggles? Literal shits and giggles?
Yeah. $69,412.
Actually, can you hold on to the guys for a minute while I take a drink? Because I'm thirsty.
Oh,
Don't make him dizzy.
I forgot to give her this.
Don't make him dizzy.
Oh.
Stop making him dizzy. I need a drink. Hold on.
No, not that kind of drink.
I'm just thirsty. They were talking about beer, and I was like, I'm thirsty too.
Muchacha.
Oops.
Olvido eso. Gracias. Now, don't make a liar out of me, car. I'm telling people that you start up just tapping the key.
He made a liar of you.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
It's loading up just a little bit in this heat.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting to like this alarm a little bit.
Hold on.
Oh, they already have a car they're taking apart, so.
Apart? Oh, I might be going incognito. Hold on. Depends if they stop us or not.
They're not going to stop us.
Yeah, but
There's
like
nobody over here. I bet that car had Arizona plates
they're
on
just
it.
checking the. They're just checking the.
The people, the luggage,
Yeah.
everything else that goes with it. Yeah, as long as they're busy with their prey, we are fine.
Hold on. Let me get back to the comments.
That car took a little over 600 pesos that time.
The only thing good there is chalupas in Taco Bell. I don't know. Never tried it.
Taco Bell was not my go-to for fast food. I can't remember going there or what's on their menu.
Curtis says if there was a Taco Bell in Mexico, I bet it would serve the best tacos. Actually, no, because
No.
the best tacos are Mexican, not like hard shell tacos are not really.
You can't find a hard shell taco in our town, Curtis. It's just not a thing. And Taco Bell would be getting their food from their suppliers,
Yeah.
which is a commercial thing, whereas your local taco place got the meat that morning, they chopped it up, their wife made tortillas that day, all the vegetables were chopped that day, and picked that day, chopped that day. Everything is 100% fresh, 100% sin preservatives, and just the best you can get for your health and everything else. So no, Taco Bell would not be any better than a local taco place. And Taco Bell would be much more expensive.
Ollie wants to know if there is full serve here.
Every gas station is full serve. However, I like to be out there because I want to fill it up right to the neck, and make sure there are no gas spills on the paint or anything else. And I've never had look a beetle. That was weird.
It just sounded like, oh, a squirrel.
Yes, with stuff on the roof. Anyway, so I like to be out there. I fill it up to where I like to every time, right up to the neck, and they don't argue with me, But yeah, if I ask them to clean the windows, they'll clean the windows. They'll check the tires. They'll check the oil. They'll do everything I ask them to do at every gas station in Mexico.
Dan says, oh, I need to remember to stop and get me a lime jarritos tomorrow. Tomorrow. I can't go from rolling R's to not rolling R's. How do I do that?
Talk slowly.
Yeah, yes. Lime jarritos tomorrow. Gonna be in Norwood fixing a dryer. And what? Steven says, has a cute polar bear with a sombrero and serape. What? Says a 1957 brochure for guest Aerobus Mexico Airlines. Aeromexico, you mean? Claim Mexico is cool, average summer temp 71 degrees. Yeah, Mexico City maybe, but not Mexico.
No, not up here. We have this state, Sonora, shares the desert with Arizona, and you know how hot Arizona gets. So it's the same here. Just because there's a border doesn't mean the temperature changes. Why do the bugs always die right in front of my eyes?
Always.
Right in front. Here comes a white truck blazing up behind me.
Dan says, I have not had a toxic hell in maybe 5 or more years, maybe closer to 10 years. I guess still talking about Taco Bell?
Yeah. Well, that's good. Stay away from it. It's not necessary. You spend more for the Pepto-Bismol than you did for the food. GMC. A lot of people with Arizona plates out here going home. I stopped at one of the gas stations and there was a newer Honda Accord next to me. And I was out there filling it up and he starts talking to me. He asked me where I was from and I said Los Mochis. He says, oh, I'm from El Fuerte, which is not far from us. He says, but I live in Phoenix now. So he speaks English. So we were talking about the car a little bit. And he can drive a lot faster than I do, so I didn't see him again.
Gearhead says, all GMO owned by PepsiCo.
Huh?
All GMO owned by PepsiCo.
Yeah.
Taco Bell. Dan says, I prefer to try to replicate Taco Bell at home.
Why? Just do yours. It comes out much better. There is one place that sells hard shell tacos. Taco shells near us, but I don't think we've been to that place in years. Roche? The guy that I sold the motorcycles to. The little...
Oh, okay.
Hard shells, but it's not something people want to sell because they crack so easy, and then they're garbage.
Crackback Misfits says, I'm gonna head out, Miguel. Third time here on the East Coast. Safe travels to you too.
Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate you coming in.
Olive says, I generally never expect much from them, Dan, but it's become very not worth it.
Is there any cheap fast food anymore over there? Anything? Dollar menus?
Steven says, up here we have Taco Time. Much better.
Yeah, I've seen those too. I've seen those in California. And maybe Nevada. I don't know. Tacos were not the thing that I ate. When I went to Del Taco, I got a hamburger. That was great highway food. I get 2 of them and eat them on the way. In the high desert out there. That was when I was able to eat. Actually, I probably wasn't able to eat bread, but I did anyway. I just didn't know.
Keeping the camera all over the place. Jesus.
You're keeping this.
No, it's just
In case she didn't show you, we have a dash cam going as well. So we're capturing everything. I don't know if we're going to be putting out any videos with that footage, but we did get the 56 Chevy truck in that footage. And none of the military places have even mentioned the dash cam. So we won't either.
Gearhead says, yeah, there's still dollar menus, but value meals are high.
I don't know if you noticed in McDonald's, which is the only fast food I really go to, they kept the same price for the sundaes, but they reduced the size of the cup. So it's basically the same thing as raising the price.
Yeah.
So I don't get, what is this now?
I don't know. I see a lot of cars. Is there an accident? I don't think so.
No, another military. Hopefully it's military. But they're not stopping us. They already got the prey. They already got a car. Oh, a female officer going through the female stuff. Got through another one. When they already have one, you just go. Not that they would want to talk to us anyway. We're driving an old car. but they know that people come to Mexico from the U.S., buy whatever they want to buy that they shouldn't be buying, and go to the border. So they'll see U.S. plates and they'll give it a little bit more of a look. I have Mexican plates on this car. So, I mean, things are getting pretty bad in Durango right now, in the area from Mazatlan to Durango, but I don't think it's high on the list for, hey, let's check every car from Durango.
It says $13 for a meal. $13 bucks. No way.
We pay a little bit less than that for 2 meals.
Steven
So I guess
says,
it's half price here.
Yeah. Steven says they have brought back the taco burger, been around since 1962. My hometown had taco time before McDonald's.
What is a taco burger? Is that a hamburger between 2 taco shells?
Olive says Wendy's for a little nicer.
Yeah, I used to like Wendy's. There were 3 patties, the fries, the Frosty, dip the Frosty. That was really good. And then when I would go out to impound sales on a Saturday morning, like at the tow yards, they would have 5 nuggets for $1, so I get $5 worth. Maybe it was 4 nuggets. I get 20 or 25 nuggets, and that would be my breakfast before the. This looks like construction, and it needs it. It's very bad. So that would be my breakfast before the impound sales. So I'd always come away with 2 or 3 cars from the impound
I'm
sales.
actually hungry.
We just had Carl's Jr.
No, you had Carl's Jr.
You had something.
I had something.
Are we in a little town?
I can't tell you.
I didn't see any speed limit signs.
We've been live for an hour and 36 minutes.
Is that all? You are. There's gasoline coming up. Is that the one that's in the middle?
Stop here and ask them what the fuck with your bread.
Yeah, right. Look, show them this gas station over here that's in the middle between the 2 sides of the highway.
I think so.
They have a store in there that sells all kinds of American stuff. It's easy to pull in, easy to pull out.
I can see
Very
it between
interesting.
the trucks.
They even have a Subway. Subway is another one. The prices keep going up and you get less and less ingredients in the sandwich.
Yeah.
Radar in operation. Who's operating the radar?
The aliens.
Oh, here we are in Santa Ana. Yeah. This is slowdown time because they have speed bumps
And it's a tiny town.
with cops.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like to give tickets. The local guys do.
We're gonna stay live all the way to Nogales?
No, let's get past here. Does anybody have any questions for us? Like how these people can live in the middle of the desert? Where do they get their water?
How are you gonna know that?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Mission Hotel, Cafeño.
Jay says he is at south of the border in Phoenix.
Below Phoenix, yeah.
Gearhead says Frisco and mushrooms and Swiss. Hardee's, no Carl's Jr. up in North Dakota.
Hardee's looks like isn't Hardee's and Carl's Jr. the same company? Because the logos look the same to me.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a speed bump. I saw the sign this time.
Dan says Hardee's mushroom and Swiss. Hardee's sometimes brings back the Big Chef from when General Foods brought out Burger Chef.
Big speed bump.
And Dan says Little Caesars there? Yes, we have Little Caesars. It's delicious. I love
Pizza. Everywhere. Let's not get started on what pizzas are good, what pizzas aren't. Okay, everybody, that was Santa Ana.
it. Yeah.
Now, here's the problem I have with what I do. All of the transport companies that I deal with come up to Santa Ana and take off that way to Tijuana. None of them come straight up to the border to Nogales. None of them come up to Nogales. So I have to drive them there because I can have them transported to a certain place and then I have to meet them there, and if they don't get there at the same time I do, then I have to stay in a hotel. It's not worth any of that. So from here to the border, I would have to transport it anyway, so I might as well just go the whole way. I mean, the work that we did on this was the brakes, the tires, the whole air conditioning system, heater and air. The alternator asked us many times to replace it, so we did. I replaced a few bulbs in the car because on the rear tail lights, the inner bulb was coming on a millisecond after the outer bulb, and I didn't appreciate that, so I put a new 1157 bulb in there, and now both of them come in on the same time on both sides. All the lighting on this car is original Ford. None of them have been replaced with made in Mexico stuff like the crap that I sell. What else did we do on it? Saturday and Sunday, I washed it, and then Saturday night I put the wax on it, and Mrs. Speck came behind me and took the wax off the car. So it's got a little bit of a protection on the paint, which will make it easier for me to clean the front of the car, all these bugs that gave their for our trip. Are we keeping the internet here?
So far, yeah. All it says...
We got some mountains here, and this is the fun part.
All it says, yeah.
Okay.
Granddad says, I figure looking at the sky, not much rainfalls. Do you have underground reserves?
I doubt it. I don't think there's anything underground here. I saw a news article that Tijuana asked Trump for some water or something because they have an agreement that Mexico hasn't been keeping their side, the U.S. said, so they denied the water delivery or something. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know why they don't have their own water supply.
Granddad's junk says, is Santa Ana town named after the general General Houston stuff?
I doubt it. I don't know.
I actually don't know, honestly.
Santa was a saint, wasn't he? Wasn't she? Santa is saint.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of, like, Santa Barbara was Saint Barbara, San Jose, Saint Jose.
Jay says that he just sent you an email.
Thank you, Jay. I'm driving. I'll look at it when I get to the hotel room. There's usually a lot more traffic out here. So do you guys see any Mexican spec cars that you like on the trip? This car handles so well. You'd really like this, Olive. Don't even have to slow down for the curves. No, it's not your style, but it handles really well. Very tight suspension on this. And we didn't do anything to the suspension. Oh, we did replace the rubber boot on the rack and pinion because that was cracked. But yeah, the engine didn't need anything. My mechanic tuned up the carburetor, adjusted the carburetor, gave it a little bit more timing.
You're still falling asleep?
I yawned. I'm not falling asleep. I'm not actively falling asleep.
Okay.
I do have a few other vehicles that I was contacted about that I need to get back with the customers as soon as I get back. One will be another carryall, but the nicest carryall I have seen. 1976 model Ford. It's only a two-door though, it does not have the third door. The client got all the pictures. He saw the 7 videos I have on it, and he says, can I put a deposit down so you can hold it? Like, no, that's not necessary. Just when I get back. will take up on that. And then I have that black 68 Dart GTS that the customer is on hold because I have to deliver the car. And then I'll get with him on it. And if both of them pay at the same time, I could go get both of them basically at the same time because they're not right next to each other, but one of them is on the way back from the other one. Pretty close. Right where Mexico City is, there's a whole bunch of states like grouped up there. You got Puebla and Morelos and Hidalgo and Tlaxcala and all of those states right around there. So from the hub of Mexico City, I could go anywhere within a short, an hour or two and buy the car and come back and then head out from the hotel. Hopefully the next trip will be more fruitful.
Gearhead is leaving. He says, I want to go eat. Stay safe.
Thank you, Gearhead. We'll see you very soon in the chats. Thank you for coming in.
Steven says, always wanted to visit Mexico, but based on our romanticized visions from the 1950s, the Carrera Panamericana, but that is not reality anymore. Have the same problem with San Francisco, California.
The race is still going on every year. There's hasn't been any problems with it. The cars look pretty much the same. The same cars run just about every year. There's old Studebakers in there. I've seen a lot of cars that are the same year after year after year.
There's a helicopter.
In Mexico, Estado de Mexico, there is a concourse car show every year. And we went in 2013, which was the last time I was in Mexico City. And I could not believe the level of cars that are in Mexico. You would never think that is here. But yeah, we're top tier, the best of the best of the best. They come out for the show, they go back in the garage. Trailer queens. That's all they do. But you can make a lot of connections out there with a lot of very good people. It's just that I'm so far away from them. You really keep a relationship going. What are you doing? Are you gonna stay in your lane? Stay in your lane. That's a TIDA. That was called a TIDA here. TIIDA. I think it was a Versa over there in the US. Very odd looking car. We are going to Nogales. Nobody has any questions? Nobody has any questions like, what car can you buy from me? We are going to find out tomorrow what the situation is at the border with the visa situation, because when Trump started his stuff, the president here said, okay, now everybody, if they're going to come in for any amount of time. So there's long lines at the, I don't know if he's going to have to stand in that line to get across the border, or he just goes up there and says, I'm only going to be there for a couple of hours, so get out of my way, everybody. So we're going to see tomorrow. I asked him to get there early just in case he is there in line for 3 hours. He still gets to the hotel before 12 because we have to check out at 12.
If he gets there too early, he can always take a nap in the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as too early.
Yep. Well, for me, but anyway. Steven says about the salud.
Gracias.
About the
Sorry, Lester. I just got your steering wheel wet.
Oh yeah.
Now we got construction.
About the race, it says Steven says yeah, but it's not
We get on a very big bus that has a screen that we can watch movies and go to sleep because we get home at 2 a.m. We leave Nogales. We get home at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Leaving early this time.
One of those other buses. I can't get comfortable on the good bus. My feet are really, I got Jimmy legs.
We're gonna separate on this trip, guys. one of the buses like that.
Yeah, that's a two-story.
Yeah, it was too fast.
The luxury bus has I think 2 seats on one side and 1 seat on the other. So it gives you more room to stretch out and everything. The lower scale buses have 2 and 2, and then sometimes they don't even give you your own screen. You have to watch a TV from a public screen, and then there's people talking and everything else, so kind of hard to sleep. And then people with their stupid phones and the volume on really high.
Brandon says, I would, but shipping to New Zealand is too expensive, makes it unaffordable. Any 50s and older cars, especially Plymouth.
We can get a price on a shipping. I'm working with a customs broker because I have another client in Brisbane.
Hold on, I think it dropped. No, yes, no, maybe. No, it's okay.
My eyes are starting to hurt.
We're almost there. Steven says, you know, I still want a late RAM charger, but I just bought a Lancer. Maybe someday.
I have a client. Here's a Tobu. I have a client for a 99 or 2000 RAM charger, but he wants an SLT Plus with a leather interior and the third seat back there in good condition with decent miles, and it's not easy to find. They didn't make a whole lot of them. Don't tell me 109? No, it's less than that. Cars are 36. 36.
50.
Okay. They have changed. Buenas tardes. Gracias. Why am I stopping so far away?
I don't know.
My arm's not that long.
But I don't have. Hold on.
I have to see how much gas the car has when we get to Nogales. As Jason said, please have gas in the car. Last time he crossed the carry-all, there was a huge line of. He has to go to the commercial side, so there was a huge line of big rigs, and it took him 6 hours waiting in line to get across. So he didn't appreciate that. Let's get some speed up. We can get there in about an hour, unless we have to slow down a whole bunch for people, for little towns. So is there any questions for us? Because Anna's arm is getting tired. Mrs. Speck's arm is getting tired. And she wants to rest.
Jay's leaving because Mrs.
Hold your breath. Thank you very much for being here the whole time, Jay. We'll be talking really soon. On the subject of fast food, there's really no reason to eat fast food in Mexico because there's taco places, flautas, sopes, all of this stuff around with completely fresh ingredients, really fresh ingredients. So there's really no reason to go pay 200 pesos, 300 pesos to go eat at fast food. People do it anyway, but, military trucks. Green and sand. So one guy thinks he's in the forest and the other guy thinks he's in the desert.
Well, they are in both.
Let's go around these guys and don't let them think you're recording. Green Chevrolet truck, fairly new. Chevrolet truck, much older. Sand ones seem to be older. Yeah, that's the Army. And then their troop transport. Much older. And this is the lead truck, I guess. He likes to play with hazard lights. In the US, when the military is done with vehicles, you can buy them and put them back into service. Not these. They wear them out and then they go directly to a junkyard. And there's no getting them out of a junkyard because there's no way to get paperwork on them. Same thing with police cars. We just came out of Hermosillo and we were behind a police car that only did traffic stops. And it was a Chinese little SUV, electric Chinese SUV, doing traffic enforcement. Is that a real police car?
Oh, that one, no.
That's a real car. Oh, that's not, it's a real car, but not a police car. It's an Impala, not a Charger. How many we got left in yet?
People 8.
I feel lonely. Where is everybody? My son said he was at school. He couldn't come in.
Dan says, why does the army do that?
Do what? Not let us have the vehicles? Because they wear them out. They drive them into the ground. They don't stop using them until they don't work anymore. For vehicles. In my state, in Sinaloa, if your car gets impounded, it goes to a junkyard. Unless you get it out. They do not have sales where you can buy impounded cars because there's no Sinaloa to do any kind of paperwork for you to get license plates for it. I think it's twice a year they have a sale at the impound yard, and they give you your license plates with that. There's no previous history on the car or anything. And I've been asked before about insurance cars that when a car is disconnected completely. We're having technical difficulties. Please stand by. My throat is...
I think it's back.
Are we back? Can anybody hear me?
Granddad John says, I've got to head to Costa and Amberley today and pick up these old 50s English cars. We're taking the mighty V8 Jeep. The mighty V8 Jeep. V8 Jeep. But we aren't. I think we're live, so yeah.
Because we're going through mountains and there's cliffs on both sides. So, not cliffs, but...
Okay.
Coming up on a hill, Cerro. We should have a clear shot. Are we back?
Yeah.
Okay. We're in the Mexican desert. We're heading toward the border to deliver this car. We're pretty close. We're probably going to get there in 40, 45 minutes. I think. That all depends on if we hit traffic anywhere. Is Lester still in here?
And yes.
Have you heard from Jason, Lester?
He just sent me a message.
Huh?
Jason.
Jason did?
Yeah.
He sent you a message?
Well, you.
Oh.
Yeah, Lester's here.
Lester, have you heard from Jason on the payment? Because I really do need him to come get this car tomorrow.
Wait, are we on the fence still?
I don't know. I'm doing my part. Those guys have to do their part. There's a black truck coming up on me really fast.
Oh, we've been live for 2 hours now.
Okay, we hit the 2-hour mark.
Yeah.
I think, like, is tradition with lives, we're gonna head off here. So I appreciate everybody coming in. I hope it wasn't too boring. There's not a lot to look at here. So I'm not the best conversationalist at the end of this trip. I was talking better at the beginning of the trip. I'm a little, I don't know why. I really want to get to the hotel room and into the bed. I am tired. Mrs. Speck is tired as well.
Yep.
And the heat out here does not help. I sure am glad we fixed the air conditioning, Lester, because this trip, as tired as we both are, in the heat,
Yeah.
we probably would have rented a room in Hermosillo, to be
Yep.
honest.
Definitely.
We would have stayed there until, what the hell is this?
Oh, that's just a bump where they sell stuff.
No,
Yeah.
that looks like that's where they wanted to take me to jail. Right there. Don't you remember this whole area? I do. Remember they had the trucks over there, and I pulled the Durango right in here.
Jay says thanks for the nice drive. Olive says safe travels. Mexican Miss and Mexican Specs. Curtis says thanks Mexpec. I like this lives. Very cool seeing the drive through northern Mexico.
If we go buy a vehicle in Mexico City, then we'll do a live from there, because that's an area I have never traveled through. So I don't know what to expect out there. I know it's not agricultural like my state is, but hopefully there would be nice things to see out there. The farther you get into Mexico, the less American vehicles you see, because they were not allowed down there. There's a dividing line. I don't know how far it is into Mexico, but there's a dividing line that there's people that are allowed to be in the border area, and then there's people that are allowed to be in the inside of the state. So you can't bring certain cars past that line, and so they don't get into the rest of the country. So all you see down there, which is why all the carryalls, are we still on?
Yeah.
Which is why all the carryalls are in the southern part of the country. There is one in Hermosillo, the city we just left. There's a 1978 Dodge long wheelbase passenger carryall in a really weird green. It looks like the green from the park rangers. It's a really light, almost an aqua green. And if somebody wants a Dodge, I can get that one for them. It wouldn't be difficult. I don't know how much it was though. Here's a little telecom called Imuris. Welcome. Yeah, bienvenido, Imuris. Don't know why they called this that.
That must be a word for the language.
Yeah, this guy crosses in front of me. Thank you very much. So okay, so we're gonna get off here. Thank you everybody for joining. I don't do any super chats because I'm not a monetized channel, but if you thought about it, thank you. I gotta go through the whole spiel, hit the like, and hopefully we'll do another one soon. Adios, everybody.
Bye-bye, guys.